Uda. That coming up next. Hello and welcome back to the Infinity Arena where the action is going down. It is the Singapore Smash 2025, the first of all the Grand Smashes, the biggest branded of biggest events. The top tier, we started off session 2 with the thrill from Brazil, Hugo Calderano and Bruna Takahashi, 3-1 over Koen Pong and Sung Jian. After that, Miu Hirano, 3-0 over Min Hyung Ji. And now we've got the defending champion, world number 1, Wang Chuqin versus Yukiya Uda of Japan.
Introducing first from Japan, Yukiya Uda! And his opponent, from China, Wang Chuqin!
So here he is in the new yellow jacket. Fascinating. Always cool to see China year after year with the fresh fit. This man has a lot to defend. He's world number 1. He's taken more titles and fans on their feet, standing room only, trying to get their pictures of a player that many traveled far and wide to see live. Lionheart, Hope, Big Head, Dato, Wang Chuqin. So it'll be a best of 5 battle here, meaning first player to win 3 games to 11 must win by 2 points. We'll move on to the next round. Early rounds have been tough. Man, there's some big lenses there, my goodness. So head-to-head, they've played once before with the World Championships in Durban, South Africa in 2023. That was a 4-1 victory for Wang Chuqin. 2 left-handed attackers here, 28 spots between them on the world rankings. And man, 82 of 97. Not too many better, you can imagine, who played as much as Wang Chuqin has. But Yukiya Uda, this has been a strong place for him to play. Daphne Lau, our umpire for the match.
Please come for the toss.
Very polite as always, Daphne Lau. Yukiya Uda looking fresh. And the different color lighting here, you'll have a chance to see what color the dew is today.
1.
Definitely a hair do, not a hair don't. It's up to you, personal opinion. I'm a fan. Nico Zorn there, our assistant umpire for the match. Yukiya Uda made it all the way to the semi-finals here in Singapore, the first ever.
Choose between
Singapore
red
smash.
and black. Red, black for you?
Guess so.
Black. Winner of the toss, what do we choose? Receive. Which end? Service.
So Yukiya Uda chooses to, well, I guess he, much like black was all that was left for Wang Chuqin, a man who's very focused. Last year was quite a fascinating year. We have to remember, Wang Chuqin is the most celebrated, yet he had quite a turbulent ride. Think about all the titles he took. He took the first 2 smashes of the year, and then met Lin Shidong, the China smash. So 11 years of pro already. He's grown a lot. He was quite hot-headed early on. A fighter, it's a fine balance. And he's just such an admirable player, and after being banned from the game for 3 months, well, he came back stronger, smarter. Look at this, Singapore Smash 2022, the round of 16, a semi-final in 2023, and the champion in 2024. So he's performed well in Singapore, and as the world #1, he's got a lot, I would say, to live up to. Bit of a gold over here for Yukiya Uda, 23 years old, 29 in the world. No titles to his name in WTT events, but a semi-final performance. When you look back, that's where Wang Chuqin was 2 years ago. Little kick on that bounce and a puzzled look from Yukiya Uda. Reminder that they've got the best equipment in the world, from the DHS W1000 table to the Enlio Super Weaving Floor, the Inhe H40 Plus 3-star ball, and $1.5 million in prize money. And world ranking points, 2,000 to the champion, and a whole lot for everybody who's here. Now, Wang Chuqin, currently world #1, was way out in front for a while, but after some of the turbulence of which I spoke earlier, he's got a bit of a conundrum on his hands with Lin Shidong on the other side. Fans, 76% of you have voted on WorldTableTennis.com for Wang Chuqin. The other 24 of our active voters, get out there and vote. Let us know what you think. WorldTableTennis.com or the WTT app. Left-handers against left-handers. It'll be interesting to see. One of the players who was quite memorable in his victory over Wang Chuqin, Anders Lind of Denmark, a left-handed player, a little bit later last year. So 2 players with headbands on and still long hair to come down and drip on the face, maybe get in the eyes. Of course, they'll plan for
First game, Uda to serve, love all.
So it's a best of 5. Yukiya Uda will start it off with the serves, love all.
Love 1.
It's bold, it's a test. He starts off with the long serve, just to keep Wang Chuqin on his toes. Hooking and curving into that elbow. Wang Chuqin, agile, leans out of the way to win the point. Doesn't miss by a lot. This is how much work it's going to be for every single point. Yukiya Uda stays on top of it. Strong backhand opening. Surprise placement on that first ball. Oh, the push surprising as well. A long push deep to the baseline and right down the line, the finisher. Yukiya Uda's forehand was quite memorable back in 2022 here in Singapore.
3-1.
And his backhand inside the table. Different occasions for different shots here. In the modern game, the backhand, you can generate more racket speed over the table than you can with the forehand.
4-1.
Now, in that turbulent part of last year, Wang Chuqin, it was some of the earlier rounds of events. A lot of round of 32, here in the round of 64. Coming in cold.
2-4.
You have to remember, if you're not playing through the qualification rounds, as many of the players here in the round of 64 are not, this is your first. Playing a match is different than practice, with all the lights, with all the fans. Liu Guoliang watching on next to Qin Zhijian.
3-4. You
can feel the chess game, the mental gymnastics that is being done on both sides to figure out how to shut down the opponent, how to keep Yukiya Uda from getting a confident opening backhand or a big step around finishing forehand.
5-4.
And here it's patience, the answer. Wang Chuqin takes a little bit of extra time, waits for his opponent to move, and as soon as he turns, instead of going deep to the backhand and feeding him what he wants, he sends it back to the other side. Good push baseline. Wang Chuqin jamming him up. Bit of momentum here for the world #1. Players you'll see drying their hands on the table between towel breaks, just to make sure they've got full grip, control, blowing on that hand to keep it dry and cool. It's a lot of power, physically fit.
5-6.
Yukiya Uda, again, for me as a spectator. Hey, Seiya Kishikawa. Good to see you again.
No
Seiya
flashlight, please.
One of two who will be a head coach for the Japanese
5-6
team. I think a couple-year contract recently announced after the Japanese All-Japan Championships. Was a legend for Japanese table tennis alongside Jun Mizutani, Kenta Matsudaira.
6-0.
It's just so much pressure every shot. Wang Chuqin manages to adapt his game in subtle ways to make sure that it's less comfortable for the opponent to play the game they want, their strength. I was saying earlier, as spectators, it's almost like a video game for us if we could choose which character we are in the game.
7-6.
And Street Fighter vibes rather, from Yukiya Uda out here. Puts everything into that opening backhand, as much racket speed as a short stroke can get. Forehand's dangerous.
6-8.
A lot of things to look at when you're sizing up an opponent. I say start from the ground, look at the legs. Yukiya Uda, very physically fit, and it pays off. Upper body matters, but power's coming from the legs, the waist, the core.
6-8.
Took a long time to earn a quality
6-9.
shot here. He was on self-defense mode. Yukiya Uda reaction. Heavy spin. Now just keeping it forward, keeping the racket high, constantly moving, pivoting to get himself in position. Whoa, Wang Hao. Looking young and fit. He's the Benjamin Button of Team China. Plot thickens here in the business end of the game. How you finish a game, that's what makes the champions. Wang Chuqin from down 4-9 against Shunsuke Togami at the end of 2022 had the stadium on the edges of their seats, tears welling in the eyes. And he delivered them.
9-8.
Big moments here to capture in your memory. Still, day one of this massive event as Yukiya Uda uses his backhand in the short game and the forehand to look for the finish. And a timeout now.
Timeout.
In game #1, that is the importance of capturing the first game. Generally speaking against Team China, but against #1 in the world, going down 0-1, it's just tough. So you're inside the Infinity Arena. The Smash Arena, where tables 2, 3, and 4 are right now on table #3 in the round of 64. Darko Jorgic. My goodness. Amazing. Through Christian Carlsen, through Darko Jorgic, Julian, a name that you do not want to forget. Played 1 season in France with Christian Carlsen, originally from Moldova, moved at 8 years old, and now for Romania as a wild card, is not letting this opportunity slip. He is a name to keep your eyes on, and a name for a player who's still up by 1, but has pulled his lifeline in the first game. Yukiya still with the advantage, momentum with Wang chuqin.
9-8.
Continues, so it's a third towel break. Wang chuqin with, what, 3 in a row? Wang Hao quick to his feet. Right into that elbow, shutting down the full-length forehand. Kirița, by the way. The young Romanian star you'll be keeping your eyes on. Julian Kirița, Seiya Kishikawa. Watches very closely here. Oh, smart play. Wang chuqin does not go to the backhand, but out to the middle of the table. 4 in a row. Pendulum serve low to the net. And the placement, shallow and into the middle. That bounce is such an uncomfortable bounce. The obvious thing to do would have been to go deep to the backhand. And that's what makes Wang chuqin world #1. He does not do the obvious, he does the unthinkable. Game point. Defending champ comes back.
11-9, first
You
game
have
to
not
1.
crossed the finish line, not against the defending champ. The man of the WTT era takes game #1. And Yukiya is left without a timeout. Check your pockets. Wang Hao still has that timeout when he needs it, if he needs it, for Wang chuqin. But it's a 1-0 lead, and many fans will be thrilled to see Lionheart take the first 11 tonight.
这个来着，老远还要把球来插长的也没用，反正长的就正我蹭下来就行了。对对对，包括你看蹦，对，一个是摆的正后边，过来一点都没关系，再一个实在比我捅的长。
A little look here at Zhu Yuling, a legendary player who spent a lot of time at world #1, has eliminated Du Hoikin. Is the biggest name that I have seen switch associations. After a run-in with benign cancer, she has come back over 4 years later to play in Macau. And then again, she's continued. And here at the Singapore Smash 2025, keeping hopes alive. The Macanese fans will be watching on, as will table tennis fans.
Second game.
Yuling is big.
Wang to serve. Love all.
They don't come bigger than Wang chuqin in the game. World #1. Good placement deep to the backhand corner. It was game 1 for Shunsuke Togami with that 9-4 lead. 9-6 here, game 1. Yukiya wasn't able to put it away.
Love 2.
And that's not a criticism. My goodness. It's a dog-eat-dog world out here. We've seen players fall at the hands of players who weren't even in the ranking system.
Love 3.
World #1 himself by Iran's Benjamin Faraji at 14 years old. Think about how many strong players Iran has. Most of us hadn't heard of Benjamin Faraji if you're not playing in the junior categories.
4 love.
It's one way to get your name on the map. It's tough when you're this big, when you're this good. You're a target for everybody. Wang chuqin wears a big target on his back. And a victory on the back of the headband in game 2, showing improving.
Black.
At least so far.
4 love. Let. 4 love.
back on top of the balance. That backhand from Wang Chuqin. Pendulum serve, much like his predecessor Ma Long. His inspiration. Interestingly enough, the best record of anybody in the game against him.
1-5.
Wang Chuqin was his kryptonite. So out of the first towel break, quite a different start here for Wang Chuqin. Hasn't allowed the big opening backhands. It's the placement of serve. Taking a bit of a risk here, an early move. Yukiya Uda gets the feet around the backhand corner for the pivot, looking for that forehand third ball. Oh man.
6-2.
Remember the power that Yukiya Uda possesses, and still Wang Chuqin's able to counter. That's a third ball of his dreams. Yukiya Uda still has to play it safely, or tries to. He might change it up a little bit. Hit it to the middle more often.
7-2.
Easier said than done. Wang Chuqin with quite a bit of momentum. Speaking of which, 12 of the last 16 points to the defending champ. World #1 keeps the hand and the head cool. Oh, look at this shot. As big as the opening backhand is, Wang Chuqin sends it to the intersection of the red smash lines. Chiquita and the pivot, nope, combination denied. Oh, geez.
3-8.
It's a tough battle for anyone. Yukiya Uda, in the last few years, has had his ups and downs. And he's not alone in that.
8-4.
He's in good company with Wang Chuqin in a shorter, say, span of time. 2024, the strongest start to a year. And then about halfway through, it was time to buckle the seatbelts, remain seated, no use of the lavatories. Catches the edge here, Yukiya Uda continuing on. In case you're curious what counts and what doesn't, the ruling is the ball has to touch the playing surface. Doesn't say how much it has to touch, that's enough. That's more than enough.
Timeout.
A bit of a look back at the table, and the timeout called in game #2. Sign of respect here, and how important this game 2 is, and how dangerous Yukiya Uda is as well. Flax, hemp, chia, a lot of seeds here. But who's the top seed? Wang Chuqin. No lectins, no need to rinse. Wang Chuqin came ready for action. Lin Shidong, a man who is fighting with a chance to take over world #1. It's the same on the men's and the women's side here in Singapore. Both world #1s fighting to defend Tomokazu Harimoto, Liang Jinquin, Felix, Fefe. The throw from Brazil, Hugo Calderano, you saw the rest. The biggest names in the game are here. You would not be. All the prize money, all the points up for grabs. The ranking system is very volatile. It moves quickly. It's why you always got to watch. Dance your way through. Enjoy the show. Shu Tiao, we see you in the crowd. French fries fill the seats. As Wang Chuqin gets ready, he still has a 3-point advantage here. Extended rally as Yukiya Uda holds on for quite some time, but Wang Chuqin, after a very extended rally, parallel shot right at the sternum there for the first, and another parallel. Doesn't get much better than this. Few easy opportunities here. Yukiya Uda, a bit of frustration as he found an opportunity, but Wang Chuqin securing 5 game points here in game #2.
5-second game to 1.
It's 11-5, a 2-0 lead. What was looking scary for Wang Chuqin in the first round, and again, he's had his fair share of early exits in the last 6 months of 2024. But right now, he still has control. It's not over yet. 11-9, 11-5, and game number 3 in the round of 64 coming up right after this.
再回到这个位置，9点了，
Chuqin smiling in the crowd, legs moving, arms keeping that lymphatic fluid.
Yukiya serve, love all.
Of course, for the fan paraphernalia, lymphatic fluid not included.
Love 1.
To know the game so well, to be in position for that ball, watch Wang Chuqin the whole time. Short stroke, barely any backswing, still gets quite a lot of racket speed to stay aggressive.
1-all.
Good kick on the serve, side and top here. Yukiya changing it up with his pendulum serve on the depth. A bit off the edge of the racket. Here's Wang Chuqin, acknowledges his fortune. You'll see players doing that generally, apologizing anytime they get a point for something unintentional, something that gets them a little bit of advantage. The full commitment on the lean, Wang Chuqin.
1-3.
Right down the middle. All the way back to the WTT logo. Fans only leaving a few seats left. Get your tickets if you're anywhere nearby.
1-4.
I shake my head because I just think, how much would that hurt most athletes to lean the way he does? How wide the base is, the knees. Wang Chuqin, 24 years old, 1 year the senior of Yukiya.
5-1.
So with the first towel break, he's leaving little to chance here. It's what preparation and hard work does. Luck is going to be a factor. Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not. The best thing you can do is set yourself up not to be counting on the luck. Wang Chuqin right now doing just that.
5-2.
So what's it going to take for Yukiya? Surprise factor? Neither player has a timeout left. As a left-handed player, it's going to be tough for him to find the wide forehand early. But a quality push into the middle does it. Think about that. A right-handed player versus Wang Chuqin comes in for a backhand Chiquita flick, a banana flick receive. And where can they go on the table? Almost anywhere.
Red.
That said,
3-5.
they have to deal with the consequences of their shot and what's coming back. Just like the start of this match, a long serve to the middle of the table, and it pays off. Yukiya with a nice, brave combination here. Deep near the baseline, short stroke forehand after leaning Wang Chuqin, and that's not a brand pun. I guess it is unintentionally, but smart combination.
5-0.
Maybe it's just the camera angle, but Wang Chuqin's backhand leaves me puzzled with that receive. The way he flicks that ball, the fact that Yukiya is not bothered, goes to show you how much preparation, how much they've seen, how difficult it is to trick somebody at this level. Soft hands in the follow-up.
6-5.
Chuqin taking care of business from inside the baseline. Recognizes just a little bit of room there to open with the attack. Still, it's a tight game. Remember, Wang Chuqin was way out in front early on. 5-1 in this game. Ooh.
6-0.
So that would have been 4 in a row before the split of the last two. Yukiya Uda makes his comeback. Little break off the net there. It is so much fun to be in the arena. It's actually my first time for a Singapore Smash inside the arena during commentary. It's buzzing. Smart into the elbow.
7.
Wang Chuqin shuts down that full stroke forehand. This is something in Asia that is different than in Europe. The European elbow stays closer to the body. A little bit taller players on average learning to cover and play compact. Beautiful combination here.
7-all.
At an individual level, it's the same. Players play to their physicality. You might wonder, what are the differences continentally between Europe and Asia? Average height, a little bit lower, a little bit less in Asia. More compact, more about speed.
8-7.
After we saw the momentum change favoring Yukiya Uda, it's Wang Chuqin, front by 1 here in the third game. Keeping that serving hand cool.
7-9.
The body language says it all. Felt like it knocked the wind out of Yukiya Uda. Felt like a good opportunity. A little bit of height on the ball inside the table. His backhand receive has been worth its weight in gold in this match, at least in game 1. And Wang Chuqin has had the answer. It's not over yet, but he's got 3 match points to move on through without a single game taken against him. Oh man, fans are rushing. I was wondering what he was looking for. That's got to be tough. Of course you want your autograph. It's part of the game. It's nothing wrong from the fans. If you're allowed to move, you're a ball kid. Anything you can do to get an autograph from the world #1. Look at the crowd. There have been so many different issues these players have had to deal with over the years in terms of pressure and how to deal. Think about it.
9.
From a broken racket and a photographer, it's all part of the game. I mean, that obviously was terribly unfortunate. This is maybe the future of table tennis. You're front row at a concert, you're in the pit, you've got your hands up the whole time. 2 match points saved. Yukiya Uda right now, taking advantage of this moment. But it's Wang Chuqin to close the door.
11-9, game and match to 1, wins 3 games to 0.
Smile there to his left-handed compatriot and opponent. Yukiya Uda goes down after a good fight, starting game #1 in the lead, and Wang Chuqin finishing strong. As he does. I used the word concert earlier, and I think right now that's what it's going to feel like. I wonder what percentage of those looking for autographs will get them. Headband off, as Yukiya Uda has been eliminated in the round of 64 by no one better than the best in the game. World #1, top seed, defending champion, Wang Chuqin. So starting off the year of the snake well, Dato Lionheart has finished strong. If this was a warm-up, it was quite a hot one. And even though it didn't go 4 or 5 games, it was not an easy road to get through. But sometimes that's what you need for a good warm-up. If it's too easy, it's not tough enough to prepare you for the road that lies ahead. Professional sports is no easy life. And just under 150% the points of his opponent, Wang Chuqin, doesn't drop a game after 26 minutes of battle. Both players had to use their timeout. And it was back and forth throughout. Yukiya Uda, a strong showing. but against the strongest in the world, it was not enough. Gongxi, congratulations Wang chuqin on a solid start here. In the first round of the Singapore Smash, coming up next, we've got the leading lady of Team Japan, Hina Hayata, versus a hometown favorite, Singapore's Zhou Jingyi. That match coming up right after this. Good vibes all around. Singapore, beautiful, clean, delicious, and man, is it a good place to be back. The tropical weather welcomes us, and the skyscrapers, the technology, one of the most convenient, amazing airports in the world. From delicious food to the best table tennis. We started off this session with the mixed doubles round of 24, meaning 24 pairs in the event. Sung Jian and Cohen Pong of Singapore battling against Bruna Takahashi and Ugo Calderano. It was a good fight. Game 3 was incredibly close. A lot of clever play from the very smart Brazilian pair here. Using the opponent as an obstacle is one of the most classic tactics you can play. And the partners on screen pulled through 3-1 after a 14-12 victory. Singaporeans fought hard. I think Singapore has a lot to be proud of with the future that they have waiting. They shine bright, Sung Jian and Cohen Pong. But moving on to the round, not of 12, but the round of 16. Bruna Takahashi and Ugo Calderano after 35 minutes of play. Following that, we saw the Hurricane Miu Hirano of Team Japan versus Min Hyung Ji of Australia. The 38-year-old is as jovial, as fit as can be. A very tough style to play. Uses the red side with her pips to knuckle the ball, change the pace, and even with the forehand attacks, Miu Hirano came to the table so prepared. The work all paid off. Look how deep to the backhand she played, like a bowling pin on the table there. That heat map shows that Miu Hirano really exploited the backhand corner. Min Hyung Ji, as she changed the order of her name, moving to Australia, post-2008, playing a lot more to the middle of the table, trying to catch Miu Hirano in the crossover. 8 points, 4 points, and 8 points. That's all the Hurricane would allow. So 21 minutes of action, and Miu Hirano through to the round of 32 at the first marquee event, Singapore Smash 2025, the 4th Singapore Smash. And then Wang chuqin would be the first to bear and to wear that new yellow Chinese jersey, the world #1 battle. Uda, who was quite starring in the first Singapore Smash 2022, making it to the semifinals. And he started this match strong. Little look at the bounce of the ball here, the arc throughout, heavy spin. Wang Chuqin with that wide stance has little hesitation. It's a big part of his success, along with physical fitness, unpredictability, full stroke forehands. After game number 1, nothing would turn. It all worked out his way, the defending champ. 3-0 took down Yukiya Uda, and it took 26 minutes. So day 1, the first match, and Wang Chuqin, again, that's